How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to Mount Worthless. My name is Splattercat, and thank you so much for joining me here today. Where we had left off, we were building a super awesome tavern, which we were now trying to complete. Now, we have lost some citizens. If you take a look at the top of the screen here, we've lost several citizens in between this episode and the last one. That's because I decided to burrow down into the -8 lair, which is always kind of a terrifying experience because you never know when your people are just going to drop through the floor and die. So, as you can see, our heroes here are just kind of plugging their way through. And I do have some people from the Hefties kind of hanging out down here just to make sure nothing gets kited back. But all in all, things have gone reasonably smoothly down here on this lair. There's not too much to worry about. Our heroes are more than amply equipped, and they are just cleaving their way through the monsters. Just excessive violence. If the game had a better graphics engine, you would just be in awe. It would be like Postal. It would just be awful. So, going back up here to the top layer, I'm going to continue placing blocks for our tavern, trying to get this all sealed off. So let's take a look here. Find the blocks that we were using, and there we are. So I'm getting on the correct layer here and place those. And I don't think the rest of those are going to place properly, so let's see what happens. I'm going to try and get this smoothed out so it'll move a little easier. And now you can see here that I put in this little balcony with these shrubberies on it, and Sadon is humping doors again. What are you doing, man? I'm trying to run a sanitary society here, and do you have any idea how hard it is to find hand sanitizer in the medieval age? Do you have any clue? It's awful. It pretty much doesn't exist. People use mud as hand sanitizer. That's how awful it is here. And you're sitting around humping my doors and getting them all nasty. Unacceptable. I need to find him a female skeleton, or maybe he's gay, I don't know, maybe a male skeleton, something. But then I kind of feel bad if the other skeleton wasn't interested in him. Then I would feel like I had just sanctioned horrible molestation just to keep my doors clean, and I would feel bad. I would feel guilty for the other skeleton. I'm like, man, that sucks, bud. Then again, I digress. So here we are. We're going to continue placing layers, getting those in place. Fantastic, and that should look good. And I'm going to try and roof this as best as possible. I'm not really sure how this area is going to roof out. I'm thinking if I make a square here and then start a square from that corner, it should work out okay. But not positive. I did want to do some different types of roofing. So I have, if you look down here at the bottom, I've planted some flowers now so that I can start making dyes. And I am going to go ahead and build the final zone that we have, which is the atelier, or I don't really know how to pronounce that word. I didn't Google it beforehand, so if I just butchered it, I apologize, but I figure I should probably put it somewhere near this place because it seems like this is the building that would make dyes. So there we go. We'll put that in place. And then taking a look through some of our utilities. Let's see what we have here. We have a color mixing bench. And we have cooking bowls. Let's see what else. Anything else? And we need a hide skinning table as well. So let's go ahead. We're going to place some of those. Just line one wall with them, as we often do. And then we're just going to do a second layer right there of just skinning tables. I'm not going to skin too much, but we'll see what happens and what becomes necessary as time goes along. It looks like we have a merchant here, so I'm going to see what he has for us. And it looks like he's got glass. I'll take that. And no gold. Nothing else is looking intensely useful. Let's see here. Unifallow hides. We have more iron than we know what to do with. So I guess I'm just going to pay him outright for that. Moving on here. Looking around the city, it seems like... And there goes all of our color tables, all of our little easels going down. Or whatever those little handheld things are. That guy that used to paint on PBS used to just be fascinating. You ever watch that guy? He had one of those things. He put it on his hand and he would always like paint like, I'm going to put a happy little bush over here. And it was just the most, it was the strangest show. You would look up and you would be watching it for like hours even though you didn't realize you had been. Now, it looks like we may have found the entrance to the main dungeon, which is fantastic, which means we can take the Hefties and we can say, Hefties, go do something else. Go get a life, Hefties. And so that's what we're going to do. Hopefully they don't kite anything too nasty back. Sadon has decided to not hump doors anymore, and he's down here hanging out with his master. That's fantastic. The bridge to Awesome Island is also... I actually watched a townie walk across it the other day, and she was on the island walking around, and it brought almost a tear to my eye. Not really. Like, it may have if I was a lot more sentimental about the bridge, but it was pretty awesome to say the least. If to say nothing else, it was awesome seeing Awesome Islands finally be accessible to my people. And I'm going to place the last little bit here of railing. There we are. That last little touch of railing, and hopefully we can get this to run straight over here. We'll iron out some of these bricks. What level are some of these on? And this will just extend across, and we will have a beautiful, amazing bridge. Now, here it looks like we've more or less got that ironed out. So let's go ahead, and I'm willing to bet that it may be under our materials, maybe? Let's look around. I've never actually, and I have no problem admitting it, I'm a little bit blind from here on out. I've never actually had a city running this long, so you guys have inspired me. Ah, there it is. We can make colors. So let's go ahead and make, I don't know. I like green. Let's make 10 green dyes. There we are. And what does that take? Just a yellow color and a blue color. And so hopefully we'll find out if they'll fill in the intermediate steps. I'm not sure if they'll make the blue and the yellow that they need to make the green first, or if I need to set up crafting the blue and the yellow first. So just looking here, it looks like 10 people have taken up, well, maybe not. Anybody? Anybody? Alright, so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to try and keep 3 blue and 3 yellow on hand. And it looks like it's not going to make the intermediate colors. That would be a really nice feature, but I don't think it's going to do it for me. And my best bet is... well, hopefully somebody will come down here and do it. I don't know. We'll find out. Now, I don't know what color I want the roof to be here. I like the tile for all of our formal structures, so I'm thinking I may try out a tile roof just to see what it looks like. And worst case scenario is I take it down. We've reached the absolute highest layer. We're on the 12th layer, and this room actually here at the top of this tower should be for our barbarians. I mean, not our barbarians, for our Highlanders. We don't want any barbarians. Barbarians, go away. We don't want you. But anyways, I'm going to designate this a tavern room very quickly. And I'm not on the right floor. Let's see here. There we are. Now it's letting me do it. And with a little bit of jimmy rigging, we got that in place. I had contemplated making an outdoor one right here, but what I am going to do in the future is I'm going to pop a hole here. And once I do that, I'm going to make some, basically just some residential tavern areas here so that I can attract some dwarfs. One of my main goals for the game right now, and I haven't really done a goal update, I've just kind of building and narrating for you guys, but my goal update for the moment is to try and gather one of every hero, and it looks like we lost a hero. Did we lose the one we wanted? We did. I had a rogue that I was hoping would die off, and that sounds like a horrible thing to say, but she died off, and that brings me great joy because now I have room for a different hero. So let's see, they're putting this roof in, one by one, piece by piece, bit by bit. And I was planning on getting creative from here on out. I have been watching a lot of Kalaris' videos, and I was kind of hoping that as time goes along I could get a little goofier. I could build like a Walmart out here and start doing some other creative stuff. You can't build across corners, which is going to curb that a tad. For example, if I wanted to build right here, I couldn't attach a block to that surface, which kind of sucks, and it's going to curb the ability to be creative a tad, but we'll do what we can for now. So if you have any requests for anything you'd like to see me build, throw it down in there and I'll play around with it on my weekends and in some of my free time. And who knows, maybe we'll come up with something awesome. And I did something dumb here. I actually just built the roof wrong. Crap. So what I'm going to do is I wasn't paying attention. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to destroy these little bits and we're going to do our best to recover. Now I think we should be okay. I forgot to leave that space blank in the corner. There we are. So now we should be okay. Someone should come get these that they're just ditching here, and they should replace them very shortly. And I did want to take an opportunity. I'm going to use this video as kind of a channel update as well. I did want to apologize for the lack of content that's been coming out. It's been nasty. I burned out my mixer, and so really making videos has been just a huge pain without it. I do have another one on order. It should be here on Wednesday. I have a new microphone coming in. Basically a whole new studio setup, and what's really cool is I have a rendering drive coming, so really I should be able to do modern games. So I'm thinking about doing a Far Cry 3 Let's Play. I've been thinking about doing a walkthrough for, you know, XCOM, just a number of games that you guys might be interested in. I would like to do, I would still love to do indie games, but the primary thing, I was limiting myself to indie games based on hardware, but now that the hardware has been shored up, I am definitely thinking about doing some more modern games and seeing how that turns out. So nobody is picking up these roofs here. And why are you not picking up the... There we go. And all they needed was a little prodding. And so now that these roofs are going to be in place, once we get the tile there, we're going to go down to the bottom layer here and iron out the tile there as well. And I did want to make this little layer right here a little bit more classy, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand the tavern just to include that. And I'm going to build some things up in here, some stuff and some things, and we've got some furniture. So what I'm going to do is we're going to put a squares table here, and then I will put a stone chair on each side. Put a chair in the corner there, kind of a cool little throne. And this can have like a little drafting table. I do drafting, so it'll be cool. We'll put a drafting table there. And we don't really have bullheads or anything like that. I'm not going to concern myself at the moment with that kind of decoration. I think we're almost out of bulls on the map anyways. There's a couple around. But I do wish that every now and again your cow farm would produce bulls. But it doesn't, so what can you do? I don't know if we can fill in unifallows for that, but since we're not in the desert, I don't think we have any unifallows anyways. There are some bulls laying around, but I don't want to waste them on decoration. Live and let live. Let the bulls exist. And now for other decorations, outdoor here, we do have some signs. And so what I would like to do... that sign seems a little low to me. I don't really... Huh. Well, I'll place signs later. Whatever. For here, our dining room, we can place a sign. And actually, never mind. It's going to be access. I bet you anything it's access. You actually have to have a scaffold to place that. So I'll deal with that off camera as well. What I'm thinking is you have to have a scaffolding in place. And did you guys trap yourselves on the roof? I hope not. Just to be safe, the rate at which they decided to jump off the roof when I did that leads me to believe that perhaps building a roof on the top layer may be a little sketchy. So what I'll do is I'll build a secondary kind of escape scaffold from there, just in case. You never know. And once that escape scaffold is in place, this is kind of a roundabout way of doing what I was going to do anyways, but I didn't really think about that. There we go. The game didn't have it in place yet. It was on the screen, but the game wasn't counting it as existing yet. So there we are, and we'll put our final layer in here. And once that's there, they should be able to access the roof from 2 different points, so we don't end up with anybody trapped on the roof. Now, throwing that into place, we're going to finish this bad boy. We're finishing it today. I promise. This roof at least. The tavern is looking fantastic. It's almost done. We should be able to take down these scaffolds very shortly. In fact, in order to keep away from bad things happening, I think I'm going to destroy it now and just get it up out of the way. And they'll have to take the roundabout route. And once I do that, I would very much like to go down and check on the dungeon and make sure nothing crazy is happening down here. More than likely, we've hit another kind of dead end. The -8 has been a giant just mess of dead ends. But it actually... have they killed their way through the 8th floor already? God, equipping everybody with gold weapons was just the best move ever. So keep that in mind. If you're running your town, buying gold in the early game and crafting it into weapons seems like an OP way to just get things done, because you don't need a night smithy for it, you just need a normal smithy. So if you have the means to make iron gear, you might as well start accumulating gold making gold gear, because it seems to get the job done. Sir Punchwood here has equipped himself in full goblinite. He's got a little bit of spiderite left, but he's a killer. He's a manslayer. Looks like we got another helmet of the pig slayer here. I wish that he had picked that up on the way by, but he didn't. Looking around, we've got some other... Ronald the Clown Ormond is still alive. Many of our heroes from the previous episodes have not died. Up here on this first floor, someone reminded me that Bentley was the chicken's name, and he is still standing a silent vigil on top of this house. He is the hero we deserve, Bentley the chicken. He's just keeping an eye off at everything and just making sure that no invaders come along. If you've ever seen the chicken in action, he's just a ruthless bastard. He has killed like 7 invasions by himself. Take my word for it, it was off camera, I didn't film it, I wasn't ready, I sneezed, I'd delete the video, whatever reason you want to say, but Bentley is a badass, so... And this chicken has apparently decided to lay eggs on this roof, which is going to make this homeowner all kinds of unhappy when that sucker decides to rot. That's just going to stink up the architecture a ton. But anyways, my name is Splattercat. I think this is probably a good spot to break off this episode, but I promised we were going to finish this roof, so we're going to finish it. So while I do my diatribe here, if you enjoy the videos, please do consider liking and subscribing. I don't normally ask at the end of videos, but it does help me keep making these. I try not to do it every episode, but I'm going to be a whore right now and ask. In any case, Videos do come out every day or so. I will have them coming out, so if you do enjoy it, just keep an eye on the channel. I will have more coming out as the new studio equipment arrives. That seems to be my biggest block right now, is that everything on Earth seems to be short-circuiting on me. But once everything is all fixed up, it's going to be a lot more frequent. And with that said, I will see you guys next time.